Everybody, the Deaf Man.
My man, it's Cruise Control. And this is the always politically correct, nothing sacred show. That's what we do here. It is, what the fuck date is it? The 17th? 17th of fucking February. Good God, the year is already a month and a half over. Already over 10% over, dude. Just about.
Damn, ain't that some shit?
Anyways, yeah, this is the Nothing Sacred show. How's it going, Maxwell? Max, but that's where I wanted to start. See, I took control of this because I figured we had to start there.
So this really got you. This grabbed you
well,
too.
It's just because I knew it was something that you want to talk about, and I knew it was something that was going to be coming up because I knew you talked about it before. I saw that you had mentioned it several times, but I figured you wanted to get it out to this audience just in case, because it's another fucking. We need to find an Uber story or Uber Tales.
Uber Tales or something, yeah, or Lyft Tales, because it's Uber and Lyft.
Or Go-Go Grand. That you use the Go-Go grandparent thing, right?
Yeah, that's the Go-Go grandparent. Yep.
Go grand stories.
Yeah, Go grandpa stories or something.
Go grand stories, yeah, or something like that. Well, anyway, so what happened? This is another communication brilliance.
Oh God, this is bad, dude. And actually, I have more transportation shit too because
so let's start with this one because this happened about a week ago. So this is like an older story, so I'm sure there's something since then. So let's do our little transportation tales right now because there's always one every single fucking week. There's always a goddamn paratransit or fucking Go-Go grandparent or Lyft or Limp or whatever the fuck it's called.
Well, you know how I'm always joking, man, or I was joking, when I got the Mexi drivers and shit, they couldn't speak English. I always said, well, what if I had an Umbop for a Lyft driver? And dude, I got one.
Now let's preface this. Was it a ride home from a place where you were inebriated, or a ride to a place?
Home from a place when I was inebriated.
Oh
yes.
Boy! So it wasn't just that you couldn't communicate with them. It was that you were in that.
Yeah, and then I get in. Well, it's funny. I get in the car, dude, and the first thing I hear is the guys going, and I'm like,
no, you're like, no.
I know I've been drinking, but I don't think any language sounds like that. What the fuck?
You don't drink more than beer, so if you had that with drinking beer, man, you must have had some seriously strong beer. You probably
I did do a shot. I did do a Rumpelmint.
And what kind of okay? Before we go there, just a little aside, just out of curiosity, I'm sure we'll get into some tales from the Run Runner tonight too, because it's all these different tales, but. What the fuck do you drink? Do you drink a Coors Light or a light beer, or do you drink an actual man beer? First,
I drink a PBR. It's
all right. Yeah, PBR is a decent beer. Okay, PBR.
The 24-ounce PBR. They give them in the 24-ounce mugs.
Yeah. So you drink one of those, and how much are they? How much do those cost?
Oh, those things, they're about $3.
$3 for 24 ounces. Not bad for that place. You drink about probably 3 or 4 of those, right?
Yeah, sometimes about 5.
Yeah. So you're getting up there, man. You're starting to worry me, dude. You need intervention time, bro. Intervention.
Dude, man. And then sometimes I'll do a shot, and usually my shots of choice are either what are called Rumpelmints.
Yeah, I know.
Which is like, you know what that is, and then there's another one called a pickleback, where it's a shot of Jameson and then a shot of pickle juice.
Oh, a pickleback. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that.
I get it, Nickelback, but a pickleback. Oh,
exactly.
that is fantastic. So you were all blitzed, and of course, I'm sure there is a little bit of the cartridge in a pear tree going on there. So you're going back. You're like, all right, I want to go home. I had a good night. Was it a good night there? Was it one of those annoying nights where you're like, no,
it was a pretty cool night. Although the only other buttfuckulous thing, dude, the rubber band inside my cane snapped. So at one point, I'm just kind of dragging it. Well, thank God, dude, Train.
A limp cane. Yeah.
Train was so awesome, though, man. She was like, here, let me see if I can do something with it. And I was like, okay. She's like, I don't have anything else to do. So I gave it to her, and she brought it back to me, and she got it to stay extended, but I couldn't fold it up. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, that's fine. At least I can get it home. I had spare canes at home.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it was stiff and straight, and it didn't bend the whole way home.
You got it.
That's
you got
awesome.
it.
Of course, it did almost wilt when you heard.
Oh yeah, dude. When I got in, I heard and I'm like, what does this nigga say? And I was like, huh? And he's like, And what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to type my address into his phone, and then he could, get us there. But the problem is too, once we got here, I'd have to give him instructions on how, drive up to the gate. All right, now here comes the gate card, dude. I don't know how the fuck I got home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it one of those remember things where you wake up going, "Oh, I barely remember that," or is it like?
No, I remember it pretty well, man. But I don't remember what. Because here's the thing, dude. Because at one point, because he passed the phone to some guy coming out of the bar, and he said, nah, 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 you know. So then I said, yeah, I think he wants you to type in the address I tell you. And so the guy did. He typed in my address for him, and we start driving. But then we get on Euclid there, and he drives past the White Trash Weekly Pay driveway, which he really, that's the only way you can turn in on Euclid. So I'm trying to tell him, hey, you need to go back, man. You just passed the driveway. And of course he can't hear me, so I'm like, fuck. So I'm getting mad, dude. And here was my drunken fucking. So finally the car stops, and I guess he's getting ready to turn around. Dude, I jump out. and I start walking like I'm going to walk, home. I'm like, fuck it.
Were you not going to even bother paying the dude?
Well, he gets paid already.
Oh, okay, so it's prepaid.
Prepaid, right, exactly, because they charge my card and shit like that. So then, dude, he's like driving, kind of keeping pace with me, walking, and he pulls up beside me, and I'm like, okay. So I said, fuck it. I got back in the car, and
you dumbass. Oh, get out of the car. Oh, I'm gonna get back in. Exactly. Fucking bleep and blooper.
Fucking fuck you then, nigga. So I get back in the car, and I don't know. Again, it's foggy at that point as to what we did to figure out, where he needed to go, and that we got to the gate and all that type of shit. I'm amazed.
And that was one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm going to go home, I'm going to relax, and then when you get home, you're probably going, grrr, and you're up and
mad and all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Grrr, and then you don't have any beer probably to drink, so you can like soak up the madness, because you know how sometimes you get that second wind when you're buzzed and you get like woken up, like you're like, hey, I'm going to go home.
I was pretty smashed, dude. I could feel it already. I was like, I'm pretty good. I knew that even as mad as I was, I still could probably just lay down and fall asleep.
You're like, God damn it, I didn't know.
Yep. Yeah, and then the next morning be mad about it, But yeah, so that was that, dude. That was I got the Defo Lyft driver, which really, dude, I keep saying this, but I need to start learning how to refuse those rides, when the guy can't communicate with me.
Yeah.
And here's another non-communicative fucking story, dude. And this is with paratransit, because they've got a new thing now that's similar to GoGo Grandparent. It's called Ride on Demand, and you call, and I guess you got to call between, I think it's like 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. or something to set rides up. But you can set a ride up for the same day. So if I want to go somewhere tonight, say at 9 o'clock, I could call right now and set that ride up.
But that ride's already been set up probably, or will be before you go.
Yes, yeah, that's already pre-programmed in, so Lyft and Uber, what they're doing is they're using Lyft and Uber, and they're sending those rides, and then then they text you and say your Lyft driver will be arriving, look for a black Hyundai or whatever the fuck, So, but here's the thing, dude, it's so goddamn disorganized. Even when I wanted to do it, because I got letters for it back in November, with them saying, do you want to do this? You've been chosen to participate in this pilot program. So I, of course, I let them know, yes, I'm interested. And what do I need to do? And so then this girl calls me and says, well, do you want to do this or not do this? And I'm going, well, yeah, I want to do it. What do I need to do? And she's like, well, I'll send you an email with all the information. So I'm like, okay. So I got this email. There was a link where you could go set your shit up, where you sign up. So I was like, oh, great.
So I did. Up. Yeah,
I signed up, and then I clicked the submit, but I didn't get like a verification, like thank you for signing up with, Ride on Demand or anything. So I tried to call RTC, and nobody knew what the fuck I was talking about. They were like, oh, we're not handling that. That's the whatever the fuck it was, the Transportation Coalition, or that's a different service. And I'm like, okay. So then I would call them, and they'd send me back to RTC, and it was just this one big ass fuck, dude. So I finally wrote this guy who I know over there, Kenny Rodriguez. He's one of the supervisors or whatever. And so when I told him what was going on, then he wrote me back and said, okay, somebody should be calling you today, and they're going to get you on the program. Oh, yeah, that's what it was, because I got a letter saying that since I didn't respond to their letter, then they're assuming I'm choosing to opt out and not do the Ride on Demand program. And I'm like, no, I want to fucking do it. But, I tried to sign up, and apparently I couldn't get signed up. So finally, I get signed up, and I'm good. I'm rolling. And because this Antoinette chick finally called me, and
you're on the system, and now there's a ride, right?
Right, now I've got rides. Well, here's the thing. Even now, people don't even know. Like you'll hit 4, for them to use the ride on demand shit. Somebody answers, and like yesterday, I was like, yeah, I'm calling to schedule a ride, and I said it's for tonight, and she goes, is it medical? And I go, no, it's for the ride on demand. And she's like, hold on. So she had no idea what the fuck that even was, dude. I like wound up talking to like 3 different people. It was mad disorganized, dude. It was like, and then finally the person I did finally speak to, and they're using the same thing. Well, it's new, and you got to be patient with us. And it's like, well, it would help if you train your employees to know what the fuck is going on.
They don't need to do that, man, because they probably send out an email saying there's a link somewhere with some training things at some place.
Yeah, go read this shit.
You got to figure it out. You just got to do it. It's their job. Just to do that. That's why sometimes you do have to give a little slack to the people actually answering the phones, because they're not the ones in charge of the training.
Oh, I know.
So it's like sometimes when you hear it's like, what the fuck? Hold on just a moment, sir.
Well, that's just so annoying.
Fuck? And they're like, oh yeah, it's a new program we implemented about 3 weeks ago. Well, do we have any info? Well, no, not really. Just put it on.
Why do they do that? What's the point of doing that?
Because it's disorganized fucking corp, dude. It's corporate gov, dude. Gym
competence.
Yeah, dude. It's corporate gov, man. It's the combination. It's that amazing marriage between corporations and government where shit just gets really bad, because corporations are bad enough as it is, and then government's bad enough as it is. But when they get together,
now you combine the two.
when they get together, it's like a fucking like 2 second cousins in fucking in Alabama, dude. Basically,
fire there, I'm gonna fuck my cousin.
2 first cousins, basically, just like, oh, fucking love you, darling. And then the baby comes out fucking with 3 hands and shit. Yeah, that's fucking what it is, dude. It's corporate gov, dude.
It is. God damn, dude. Well, they finally set this ride up for me, which took forever. I was actually going to take 2 rides, because I was going to take a ride from work to the Rum Runner, and then from the Rum Runner to home, right? Mm-hmm. Easy enough. Well, here's the butt fuck, dude. So they text me and say that my Lyft driver's on the way. His name is Juan.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this is going to be a problem, because I don't even have this guy. At least with GoGo Grandparent, you have the option to press 3 to call the driver.
So you may want to use this service as a last resort.
Because
you're not going to have to need. You're not going to need, because this is something you can use and have. Because that's what you really want, honestly. That's why you probably should just, if there's any. Well, we have 4 new programs, pilot programs. You want to join up? Sure, all of them. If they're transportation wise, because you have options now. Because for some reason you may have to brave a wand, but maybe you need to do it to a place where you can get like the entrance to fucking Mirage,
somewhere it's
yeah,
easy.
like that. Well, it's like the Rum Runner should be an easy place to get to. Honestly, if you can't get there, then you got issues regardless of who you are. So that's just a straight shot. That's a one. So basically, that place you can go. All right, I needed to set this up, but then again, you probably wouldn't need that. So as a last resort, it's something new to use.
That's exactly. Well, the thing is too is it's way cheaper than GoGo Grandparent, but I figured because it's $3 a ride, but if it goes over that $3 mark, then you've got to pay the extra. So you use PayPal to pay. Like you put an advance payment in. Like I put $100 on my account. So,
okay, but how much does the $3 ride does it stay within that balance to a place like say the Rum Runner?
Well, actually, it went a little bit over. It wound up being $5.80 or something like that.
Oh God! So it's still a little cheaper, but not that much. Probably about $3 or $4. Maybe another beer, an extra beer on that.
Well, this is from work to the Rum Runner. That was from work to.
Well, that's not bad at all. Holy shit!
No, that's what I'm saying. That's
okay, but I mean, to Rum Runner from your place, you might want to use that, and just say, for like at least for the ride there, because think about it, dude.
Yeah,
it's $3 a ride, man. That's when it compared to $9 a ride.
Oh yeah! Oh, absolutely. So
fuck yeah, dude.
That's and not only that,
the full ride is 3 times less than your fucking $6 compared to $18.
Oh yeah, shit. Fuck yeah. So it's good, but still, so Juan, of course, it texts me and says Juan's there, but I can't even call the fucker because I don't have his phone number. So I'm kind of stuck with my dick in my hand. It's like no man's land over there. I'm just going, where the fuck is Juan? Well, then I get another text about 10 minutes later saying that Juan canceled. And I'm like, oh, great. And now, so you have no recourse. You can't call anybody. You can't, you're just kind of, no man's land. It's like,
well, you gotta just get on the grandparent again, dude.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So I took Go Grandparent there, and I still have my ride from the Rum Runner with them. Yeah, like you said, dude. I think it's got to be simple places for them, things that they're easy.
Home to Rum Runner, perfect. Back and forth, nothing, no problem. So if you know you're gonna go to a Friday night, you just say get the ride at 6 or before 6, and then you're there. You got it good. You get back. Plus, the only issue with that is sometimes I'm sure you get there and then you want to stay a little bit later.
Right, and then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I got a ride coming.
Yeah, so maybe get a ride there, still save a shit ton of money. Still, the ride, a $3 ride there, because you know what time you're gonna go. So maybe use it for
like
the ride.
A paratransit ride going there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the reason I didn't use paratransit that night is because it was giving me shitty times, like 5:55 and stuff like that. So I was like, oh no, that's too. Do
you ever? Most of the time, I would assume you use the ride thing home, right? Or the Go Grandparent home?
Oh yeah. Most of the time. Now last night I used the ride on demand home. Yeah. I used that one because I set that up earlier in the day.
Paratransit probably is something you don't use like a lot of times home.
Not usually. No, not from the Rum Runner because it's too stringent.
Too stringent. You want to be able to I'm going to stick around for an hour because there's a chick next to me that I'm going to get to know. And then of course an hour later you're going home going, fuck, I didn't get her. Well, that's a question I have for you, just an aside. So, do you have any more transportation stories?
That's pretty much it. But yeah, that ride on demand, dude. That thing's pretty janky. So But that's good. At least. What they want you to do, you know what it is? They want you to use the Lyft app. Because she was even saying, well, you might want to learn to use the Lyft app. Because that means they don't have to do their job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not you can use the fucking stupid Lyft app.
Yeah. So you want to have them do their job. So. Anyway, so what else is going on? I got actually something, or do you have something else?
I've got a few other things. So you want to let's jump into your shit, man.
There's a couple of things. Just I wanted to talk about this. Just the stratification. I want to reissue a point here that I've been trying to make for a while about minorities. All right, okay.
Okay.
And this goes for you too because you do a lot of the Sidey McJesus this and Sidey's this, Sidey's that, and you're like, well, I'm a minority. I'm blind.
Well, no, but I mean, there are a lot of sighted people that do this
but
shit,
there's a lot of blind people that rock back and forth and stuff too, and you get mad when sighted people actually treat you like that. But then again, so I guess my thing is the thought that I had that I was thinking about a lot this week is about the real minority, and there's only one minority, and I may have mentioned this before, but there's only one minority, and that is the minority of the individual, because each individual is its own minority in itself. No one is like you. So there's only one person like you. There's only one person like me. There's only one person like anyone else. The traits that we have, you being, white and male and blind, whatever, all contribute to that. But in the end, the only minority is the individual. So the only thing to really protect should be the individual over the group, over group mentality.
You think?
Yeah, but that's not the way of the world. Like this Black Panther movie. Have you heard about this shit, man?
Oh, I have heard about it. Yeah. It's
the first black movie. It's the first black, except it's not the first black movie. We have, first of all, it's not even the first really true minority, quote unquote. If you're going by the stack, because that's what they're saying. They're saying this is a big moment for African Americans and black people in this country. I'm like, it's a fucking movie about a fictional fucking country.
But that's the liberal thing, dude. They treat them like kids,
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's a big moment! Yay!
Yeah, exactly. It's so condescending. Like anybody who thinks it's a big moment because it's a movie. And first of all, it's not even the first black superhero movie. Obviously, there was Blade 1, 2, and 3. There was Catwoman, which is an even bigger step because that's a black female.
Ooh. Man, forgot about that one.
Female fucking superhero. Holy shit! A black female superhero. Wow, but that happened a decade ago. It was a shit movie, but still, a decade ago.
Right.
So this whole thing about this movie, and I think it's even funnier, because it's about this fictional kingdom called Wakanda. All right. And Wakanda is a country that's all black people, right?
It sounds like Rwanda.
Yeah, but it's Wakanda. It's in Africa. They've got this special thing called vibranium that they want to protect. It's this special like substance, right? It's an all-black country, and they're proud of their all-black country, so it's an ethnocentric country.
Okay.
They're very isolationist because they do not like foreign people coming in, so that there's a wall around their country. And and they're very isolationist, so they don't want to actually give, like deal with foreign countries. So they're isolationist, They don't like immigrants coming into their country. They've got a wall around their country, and it's a darling movie about how empowerment black people are. Now think about what other country the liberals despise, or the other people, the certain person who is advocating for being more
a wall around the country and being
a wall around the country, being isolationist, and then the fear of white ethnocentrism, because so no colors in this country. But well, what about Wakanda? Well, that's different. So in other words, they're promoting this movie that's supporting a country that's isolationist, has a wall. It's like make Wakanda great again, basically.
It's if they really want to use that logic, if Donald Trump,
So basically, here's how this whole thing is playing out. This identity politics. It's like the Ghostbusters movie. Remember the female Ghostbuster movie, and how oh my god, if you don't like this movie or give this movie a bad review, then you're sexist. Well, for a while, after like 50 reviews of this movie by the quote-unquote media, the experts, it had 100% rating. So movies like Ben-Hur, Spartacus, Citizen Kane, all had 95, 94. But this movie, for a superhero movie, right?
Got 100%.
Had 100%. Well, it got a bad review, okay? A couple bad reviews. And basically it went down to 97%. So there was outrage, of course, because how dare anybody, this Australia, I guess they said the Australia unleashes negative reviews on, it was an Australian review that didn't necessarily like the movie, but didn't think it was that great. Of course, he is what happens to that reviewer? He's a
racist
because he didn't give the fucking movie 100%.
Jesus Christ, dude! This is like the fucking come on, you gotta give. You don't understand. You have to give them a special rating, or they'll get mad and riot, or some shit.
Or something. But the thing is, but some of people are mad about it. Like, how dare you give this movie and not this movie? It's obviously a slant because it's trying to bring the man down. And then you've got the white people tweeting, listen, when would it be okay for me to come see this movie? I don't want to go into the theater and ruin your black joy. Please give me a moment to tell me.
Okay.
To let me know should I go next weekend? A weekend after that? Let me know when I'm allowed to. And I don't know whether it was a troll or not.
Give me permission to go see your movie.
I don't know whether it was a troll or not, but I don't think it was, because people do think like that now, and because there are black people going, black movie, black power, black cast, black director, black superhero, black
Straight out of Compton. What about all those
Malcolm
movies?
X? What about movies?
Fuck. A lot of them. Posse. Remember Posse?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Yeah, but the whole point is this is a superhero. This is an all-black superhero cast. So it's not like a movie about the ghetto. It's a movie about a fictional country, in Africa, about this Black Panther guy who's a superhero. Of course, named Black Panther, which is great.
I was gonna say that kind of fucked me up too. The name, dude.
And there's a part in the movie, because all the cast members are talking about how important this is. Like, oh my god, this is such a big monument. There's a part in the movie where a white guy tries to make a suggestion, and all the black people start hooting at him and yelling at him, like hoo hoo hoo, and
and behaving like monkeys.
Yeah, because who knows? It's really strange the way but they basically shut up, white man. This is not your time to talk, man.
Yeah.
So it's this big racial thing, and there's another white person said, because there's a couple of black people said, this is our movie. Don't come to our movie. Don't watch our movie. If it's like,
watch our movie. How are you gonna put a fucking a stamp on?
Especially when Black Panther was created in 1967 by two Jewish dudes. So
all right, well, guess what? Then the movie Great White Hope, that had the it was a boxing movie. Remember that shit? Mm-hmm. And that's our movie, dude. So niggers can't watch it.
Yeah.
By that logic, you know what I'm saying?
It's just so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous how fucked up we are. So that's one of the things I want to talk about.
Actually,
and of course, we missed. Actually, what? You have something on that?
Well, I was gonna say that kind of segues into this. Did you hear about this shit? Everybody's up in arms now because they say, "Oh, the ADA's been abolished." They've done something to the ADA now to where people can't just make frivolous lawsuits.
What? They can't? Oh, no.
Over discrimination suits due to disability, which, dude, I totally fucking understand because, fuck. Sometimes somebody who's disabled really, truly doesn't qualify for the fucking job, and they'll scream out discrimination, or something like that. Well, dude, I saw some people on Facebook, and they're like, what's going on with this country? Did you see in Congress that they're dissolving the ADA? And I'm like, oh Jesus! And it's a bunch of dumb fucking housewives, of course, and they're just speaking out of hate.
And if you have a decent, thing is, you don't really need that, because if people don't want to go someplace, they won't go there. Like, if there's a restaurant that doesn't have, like, cater to people in wheelchairs, then they're going to lose business. So it's up to them, to not, so if they're losing business, then that's
That's on them.
If you got a family that has a wheelchair in it, they're not going to go to that restaurant with that person, because they're not going to be able to act. So there you lose on like 10 people who aren't going to be going to that restaurant.
Well, I think this is more just for frivolous lawsuits, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's
either way, my point
is
the whole ADA and frivolous lawsuits about like accommodations, right? Like for jobs and stuff like that. Like, well,
or if they didn't get the job because
they're at the job and they have perfume sensitivity, so they need to be able to work from home or have their own special office in a different building.
Crazy shit.
Like that shit. Or here's another thing. This is actually a good segue into something that I'm kind of dealing with at work. Is that there's a accommodations department at my job, and in my job now, the new position that I have a lot of windows up on my screen. I'm not as fast as other agents in certain things, and it reflects sometimes in my numbers, in my average handle time on my job, basically. I won't say more than that. One of the suggestions was for me to go to the accommodations and have them, go do medical tests. Go do medical tests and stuff to see if there's anything I can do. And one of the suggestions that I could do was to change the qualification for that
particular position.
That particular statistic in my position, to allow me to not have to worry about that or have a longer time to do that. Now,
well, shit.
See, here's the problem with that, though. If I do that, because what they could do, obviously, what I would just say is, hey, just put me in a position that it's not, my previous position, that it wasn't a factor. Basically, it wasn't one of the major things they looked at. In this position, it is.
Right.
So like, well, if you really have a problem with that, put me back in the position where it doesn't matter. Why should I have to? Because I don't want to have a different standard. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go in and go, well, I can't see, so I need to have a slower standard for this particular thing. Well, that's not that's a qualification for this position, but not my previous one. So instead, why don't you just all right, we'll get you back to the other position where it didn't matter. No.
Did they dissolve your old position or something?
No, they just moved me without telling us. They basically just dropped us off into a new position, basically. Oh, you're on this one now. Yeah. So that's the thing. I didn't even have a choice. It was right after I had just gotten. It's a long story, but I don't want to go too detailed, because that's another thing. People are getting in trouble more and more for actually talking about these kind of things online. So I'll just leave it at that. My point is that there's a chance that I'm not going to do that, because I don't want to have a different standard. I'll try to do the standard that I have, and if I miss the standard, then oh well, that's their problem, that's their loss, because I'm obviously a capable employee in the positions that don't have that standard, and there are positions that don't, that I have done very well before. So why not, instead of going, well, we need to just lower the standard for you, how about you just put me back in the position?
Put me back to where it's manageable,
where it doesn't matter, where it's not as important. Wow. So, but it's the kind of the same thing, like that. I could please get my position, so I could just have a different standard. It's like, well, why? First of all, the pride factor, because I am not meeting the same standard as everyone else, so I can't be judged the same way. So what about my other numbers? If they don't meet up to the standard, are they going to be judged more? Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
the thing is this, though, man. If they're looking at that, going, well, now they're basing it like, well, he's slower. That means he's less capable. This is the problem with these Corporanicons.
Well, yes, but in a way, because the standard is there, I am less capable in that way.
Right.
Because that standard, I can't meet it as well as others, and that's just the way it is. So, so why, instead of having, well, we could talk to somebody about maybe loosen up on that standard. I'm like, well, why not just move me to a place where that standard doesn't apply?
What about going to the accommodation department and telling them
they can't move you? That's one of the things they can't do. It's all about need.
That's stupid.
It's company need.
My God.
Yeah.
Because that's what you really need. That is the need right there, is the accommodation.
Yeah, just put me back to the place I was before, where that was not a statistic. Because it's called, there's basically metrics that you have to follow. And now I have 4 or 5 metrics that I used to have 2. And of course I'm not getting paid more. But that's a different story. But yeah, I used to have 2 metrics. Now I have these 4. So put me back where the 2 metrics are the ones that matter. And then it's problem what? Whoopee! Solved! And then you got a good employee who's doing his job and is fine, doesn't have to worry about the stress. And you also have to not have to worry about somebody have to go into paying for their own medical, to go pay for a fucking eye doctor to tell me that what I already know. Hi, dude, the sky is blue. Give me $100. The sky is blue.
Right. Oh, you didn't do the whole eye chart goodly enough, so we determined that you have an eye disorder. Like, damn,
they should be able to look at my fucking social security information and go, oh, yeah, oh, there you go. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. You know.
Well, they already have, don't you have like a special kind of screen or something, or monitor?
No, I have a normal screen.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. That's another thing they'll try to do. Well, what about a new screen? I'm like, it's not going to make a difference. I'm going to be slower at certain things. I can only see a certain part of the screen at one time. I cannot see more than one screen at one time. Some people have 2 screens or 3 screens that they're using. I can use 1. So there's a whole bunch of different things, and I understand. If it's not the metric that I'm meeting, if that's what they require in that position, then fine. But I'm not. I should not have to go to get that modified if there's other opportunities that are just as simple. Just all right, we're going to pop you here. There you go. Boom, done.
Right, but they're not using those. That's the thing. And it can't cause you to lose your job or anything, can it?
It may.
Wow.
But I don't really fucking care. No, that'd just be a reason for me to find something else. So, you know, I'm looking for other things too. So, but whatever, you know. But that's a different story there. That's a story of why am I in this situation to begin with, which is another pop out for my butt plug of the week. Which is butt plug was, of course, you know, I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. Did we talk about that on the show?
Oh, you know what? We did not, man. I watched that video.
Yeah.
And I mean, that dude was he was so relaxed, man, and he was just fading her left and right. She even said at one point.
Dude, she even said,
he was like, "You got me. I don't know what to say."
Because he goes, well, you've been completely hostile toward me the whole time. That thing's got like 5 million views. It blew up, and he's actually got a book out. I talked about that called 12 Rules of Life. Jordan Peterson, man, if you ever like that, that's the kind of stuff I watch on YouTube. I don't watch TV, but I watch that kind of shit all the time. Those philosophical discussions, and he just nails that shit, man. He's really
I loved it because it was a debate, dude, and he was just ripping her to pieces, and he was doing it so calmly.
She was so hostile. And so you're saying that women are unequal. He's like, I never said that.
She was putting words in his mouth. Yeah,
totally. And that's the establishment mindset, man. And of course, afterwards they're saying that she was getting death threats after it, and you know, from his fans, so he's responsible because his fans were calling her a bitch, which is fucking misogynist, because they were trying to spin it, of course, to make it a victim narrative, man. That's all they do. That's all they got.
You know, it's kind of, well, I'll get into that in a second about YouTubers and shit too, because you know, there's fans that do dumb shit and like pick a side kind of thing. But one thing I wanted to butt plug real quick, there's a video called "I'm Not Your Inspiration, Thank You Very Much," and it's a woman named Stella Young. She's in a wheelchair, and she's talking about, you know, well, it's funny because I did a webinar this week, and it was basically about, disability on the shelf, basically talking about how people with disabilities are portrayed in books and movies and things like that. And one of the things they talked about was inspiration porn, where they actually, you know, disabled people or able-bodied people look at disabled people as, hey, you're not so, you know, I'm not so bad now.
Yeah.
I look at your situation, and that's, you know, this is the whole reason I get pissed off at when people say, oh, you're such an inspiration. I mean, you know, well, you know what's up, but yeah, it's a cool video, man. I like what she's saying on there.
Okay, well, mine was actually not Jordan Peterson. It was a different dude named another Jordan named Jordan Greenhall.
Oh, okay.
And Jordan Greenhall has a site called Neurohacker, and it's about how we need to rethink our ideas about our society and about how we're related. This red and blue, this Republican Democrat, this right and left shit. They're both they're both needed. The progress is needed, but the tradition is needed. You need to have that balance. It's just very simple. You'd have people that are focused on hard work and tradition and you know, like and do your diligence, and you have to have people that are focused on, you know, like help everybody else and progress and going forward and, you know, all that shit. You know, my God, like save the world. You know,
right? So they're both needed.
They're both needed, but you can't have one. But right now, it's a stratification, and we're going to war on either side. You're either against it. You know, it's that red. You know, you're
either
red
or
blue.
Against us.
You're alt right or you're an SJW. You know, you're either this or that. You know, and and there needs to be that middle ground. And he's a proponent of that middle ground. It's called the intellectual dark web. I think I talked about it before. But there's a great documentary by a guy named David Fuller on it, and he talks about the Jordan Peterson interview and how that was like the glitch in the Matrix. That was like a moment where people were getting what they call "quote unquote" red pilled, you know, like the Matrix movie, where like you get woke, I guess.
Right, and it's all of a sudden this pill that makes you think a different way and behave a different way.
But this basically is just the idea that you're seeing shit, like you're seeing how awful the media is. You're seeing how this they're trying to manipulate you into thinking about people as groups instead of individuals, because that's how they can manipulate you easier. It's easier to manipulate people when you can blame a whole group, because all you got to do is smear the group, than it is to have people blaming the individual. Like I said, it's all about that.
Hey,
that's the thing.
As they say, strength in numbers, man.
Yeah, like you can say, oh, you're a racist to somebody, but you can't say, oh, you're an individualist to somebody without the same. Like you don't like that person. No. That person's black. You don't like black people. So they railroad the conversation, and that's how they control us right now. Is this identity politics control? That's why people are actually thinking that a movie, like people go, man, now I know how white people feel when they saw the Black Panther poster. And they're like, we don't feel that way, you fuckface. You're putting your impression of how we quote unquote feel because of a general thing, white, which is so vague. Irish, Spanish, Italian, Czechoslovakian, Russian, German. That's white, right? So there's all these different people, all these different experiences. But no, if you say, no, white people feel because they had movie posters all the time with Superman and Batman, they're white. And it's like, that's not how...
It's not like we even thought about that shit. Like,
no, we don't.
Because, damn right,
and that's the thing.
Superman's a white man.
They have trained the media, the mainstream media in our establishment, because anti-establishment is now non-identity politics. Its establishment is, oh, you're white, so you don't understand. You're a white male, so you don't understand what's going on. So the anti-establishment basically, is... The establishment has people controlled, because if they all they have to do is paint you as a racist and say you're against the whole group,
And there you go.
And there you go. You're done, and now you're divided again. Now you got them think, oh well, you're a man, and one time you called a woman a bitch. Yeah, because she was being a bitch. Why didn't you call her an asshole? Because she's not an asshole. She's a bitch.
A man. She's not a man. Yeah,
men are assholes and women are bitches. Or men are dicks. Men are pricks. Men are cocks.
Yeah.
Women are bitches, skanks, cunts. Whores, whatever. Yeah. It's called terms, because men and women aren't.
You can't call a woman a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's a dick.
Exactly. That's why it's just a description because they're they're parts of your personality. Being a woman is a major thing. Being black is noticeable. So when so being white, when you call some white dude a honky, it's because he's an asshole white dude, not because he's an asshole black dude, right?
Right. Exactly. It's like he's a guy who happens to be white. That's a dick.
Yeah. So it's just a descriptor. So now you covered two descriptors at once. He's a white asshole, so he's a honky or a cracker or whatever.
A peckerwood
or whatever you want to call it. And you can use that with any other
ethnicity. Just fill in the blank. It could be a chink, or it could be a fucking spick, or whatever.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's a generalization that once you get to know them as an individual, should stop, because should stop or be reinforced. And if it's reinforced, well, that's your problem for having it be reinforced, as I talked about before. So anyway, what next, man?
Man, okay. Well, since we're on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and talking about YouTubers, dude, a lot of YouTube now is becoming like the new reality TV.
Yes.
Like, people are backing one YouTuber and going up against another one and, doing fucked up things to that person. But then you wonder, like, are these people really enemies, or is it all a game? You know what I'm saying? Is it just, like, are they really cool with each other and they just kind of act like they hate each other?
What's the specific thing you were talking about? Is it something you can specifically talk about, or?
I mean, I guess I could put some names in it, because
give us there's basically a YouTuber. Let's just make it general.
Well, let's say, all right, like it's Tommy Sotomayor has a guy named True Freeman that hates him, and they go back and forth all the time, and they talk shit about each other and all kinds of stuff. But what's funny is in all of True Freeman's videos, it always starts up with something with Tommy Sotomayor in the title. Like, fuck Tommy Sotomayor, he's an asshole, or Tommy Sotomayor and Soto Nation's gonna pay, and you're like, well, why is this guy putting this dude's name all over his shit?
Because he's riding his dick and he has a lot less followers. Have you checked his follower account?
Yeah, it's way less. He has way less.
So he's riding his dick, so that's why he puts his name in the title, so he can ride his dick. It's a form of fucking jock riding, dude.
I wonder if it's that.
It's partially
that. I wonder if it's that, or if he's a shill, dude. Like, like Tommy, because I actually wrote him at one point, because I wrote both of them to ask them, hey, we do a show. I'd like to get, one of you guys, one of you on to talk about what started this whole beef and how did this all go. Neither of them wrote me back. Of course not. So it's kind of like, okay.
He's on the Rubin Report, man. He's getting 100,000, several 100,000 followers, man. So,
well,
you know how that works, man. It's just the way it is. But yeah,
I was surprised this True Freeman guy didn't get back to me either. I was like,
well, he's probably got 10,000 or 20,000 as well, because like I said, he's riding off Tommy, so he's going to get followers who don't like Tommy. See, that's the tribalism, man. That's what you go. See, you go with the and then you become a group. Now you're anti-Tommy, and then you got the top pro-Tommies who are like, yo, man, this guy's a dick. I'm a Tommy man. I'm Tommy, like just like I'm a Jordan. There are Jordan Peterson fans who, because there's been some criticism of Jordan Peterson, and some of it's funny, but some of these fans are like, you don't talk about him, man. Clean your room, blah 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 blah. And it's dude, he's a person still. You still have to, because that's the danger. It's always a danger of getting in those, because you get people like me and you who are like, like me and you are totally pro free speech.
Yeah, anybody who's doing free speech.
So you got, and that's the thing. Now you got a bunch of people together who are all pro free speech. So what happens? You start getting tribal with the people who are pro free speech, and you start getting the group, and then you start wondering, well, is he pro free speech enough to be considered really worthy to be part of the pro free speech group? Oh, so now because we got this group, so we got some rules here. So you got to be this kind of pro free speech group guy to be really considered one of us, our allies, because you get those borders going. So now you got this new ideology, and it's just the same as the fucking SJW and the alt-right and the other fucking ideology. So it's a balance of not becoming this fucking group. So you can like Tommy, like you like him, right? You like what he has to say.
I like him, but the True Freeman guy is interesting too. I mean, he's not as good as Tommy, but I mean, he's interesting to watch.
Yeah, so he's interesting to watch. So but you're not like, man, either one is. I'm gonna pick a side, right?
No, hell no, I'm not down with that shit.
Because they're just like fucking people. You listen to him, you take what you want from one, you disagree with some things, and then you like throw that away, and you go, okay, well, I like this guy. And if the disagreements outnumber the agreements, you start going, I'm not gonna like this guy anymore. So you don't watch him anymore. Because you're like, well, this guy, I don't agree with what he's fucking saying. I don't like, and not just like I don't agree, so I'm not gonna. But like, this guy's fucking wrong. Like, if I'm not gonna watch someone who says that we live in a patriarchy and men need to fucking own up to their responsibilities toward women, that kind of horseshit. I need to own up to my responsibilities toward my individual friends and acquaintances and my own life. I don't need a responsibility to own up to any kind of group because of my whiteness or maleness. I don't have a responsibility toward women because I'm a dude, because of all the shit we've done in the past and all the unconscious bias I have as a white male. I have a responsibility toward women and minorities. No, women don't have a responsibility toward me. Individuals have a responsibility.
Right. So, well, I guess what I'm saying though is this whole YouTube thing. It's all smoke and mirrors. Like, these guys probably are friends.
They may be. It might be just like the battles, because I think that's what happened with a lot of rap battles too, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. A lot of them were cool.
Well, think about it. How many of the motherfuckers do we actually get on who say, man, that guy is a cocksucker?
Oh, no, he's cool, man. That's my homie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, dude, he's cool, man. We kind of made up since then. Sure, you were made up back then, and you were just making money cool off it. Yeah, you guys were cool. Or if you weren't, it was very mild. It was like, oh, well, we wrote a rap about each other and didn't like each other. And then you come back later on and go, man, that guy's not that bad, man. We had a meeting a couple years ago. It was cool, and we exchanged like money for the fact that he made me money and I made him money. So
Well, and here's the other thing, dude. This is why I think Tommy uses some shills too, dude. Because he's always talking about how people are after him and out to get him, and he's very guarded.
About his fucking family, about he fucking touched somebody as a child or something. Oh, he has a whole bunch of drama. It's all drama, half his shit.
Oh, it's all drama, total. And there was one video where he's in there in his house and he's got all these guns around him, and he's like, this is why I have to live like this. And, he looks very destitute.
It makes you want to go, dude, come on, motherfucker. Come on.
Exactly. Well, here's the funny thing.
The gated community in Arizona or someplace right there.
Well, here's the funny thing, dude. The other night I'm watching one of his videos. It's a live stream. And it's about 5 or 6 o'clock. He's sitting down having dinner and I guess doing a live stream, talking to everybody. Well, just in the middle of all that shit, he stops and he goes, oh, hold on. Someone's at my door. Now, if someone comes to your door about 5 or 6 and you're not expecting them, are you going to go answer it?
I'm like, yeah, I would.
Well, especially in his position, though, okay? If he's that guarded and that worried about...
No, but of course he does, right?
Oh, of course he does. He disappears. Then you hear him talking and kind of laughing with somebody for a second. Well, he brings the guy in his house, dude, and sits the dude in front of it. He's like, hey, man, sit right here in front of this camera, man. Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. And apparently he was a delivery guy. He was dropping off a package, and he claimed that he saw the name on the package and just had to ring the doorbell to see if that was the real guy. And yeah, dude, it was total fucking... And then he gives the guy a business card at the end and says, hey, man, call me anytime, man. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, you called him like an hour before to see what time he was going to be here so you could start the live stream so you could make sure the door was
he called you. You know, and said, "Hey man, when do you want to do this, man? I'm gonna be home in 5 minutes."
5 minutes. All right, man, dude. Come on, man. And it makes you just distrust them and stop. That's the kind of that's why I don't really watch that dude anymore, because it just seemed like he was just pushing, man.
Yeah,
he's just kind of like full of shit. You know, I mean, some of his ideas, don't get me wrong. There's good things in a lot of stuff. Some of his ideas, you know, about the way, like, I don't agree with his because he's doing the same thing with black women. You know, he's just black women. Now there are a lot of trends. Don't get me wrong. But he's also talks about the other trends, you know, like the trends that he owns up to, the black on black crime and other things that just need to be done. You know, the
I
lack
agree
of
with a lot of what he says.
Yeah,
you know,
but he's full of shit too, and you can tell. And you can tell he's kind of full of shit too. So it kind of makes his words, the impacts, kind of lessens him a little bit. Like a guy,
you look at him a little less favorably now. You're like, dude, you ain't the dude you say you were. You know,
a guy like Jordan Peterson's not going to be like, well, I'm talking about my inner self and you know, the archetypes of the world and you know, and how you know, how they, hold on, just I got a knock on the door. Oh, well, let me go get that real quick and leave the camera.
Okay, come on in.
Come on in, man. Let me have a seat. And no, he's not going to do that, because that ruins it's about his ideas only. And that's why I like that, because I don't trust someone when it's about their ideas. But I've got this guy who's
showcase a little bit too. I'll do some live streams while I'm driving in the car. Or shit, he did one. Well, this is another crazy dude. I guess this True Freeman guy lives in Indianapolis, so he went to Indianapolis apparently to file a restraining order against this guy, and he's like giving his whereabouts the whole time. And I'm thinking, dude, if you're that worried about people fucking,
it's bullshit. It's a show. It's a drama. It's about his drama life. How he's doing such different shit. He's shaking the boat, man. He's rocking it, dude.
Yeah, man. He's got people against him.
He's rocking the boat. The boat is rocking because of all the stuff going on. Of course, he doesn't tell you that underneath the boat, he's paid the dudes to hold on to it to rock it underneath him. Like, oh shit, it's rocking. Whoa, yeah, my life. And then like when the camera's off, he's like, okay. Camera's off. All right, cut. Hey, come on. You guys can come on up. The snorkels, you know, come up. He's like, oh, dude, all right, here's $50 each. Thank you for rocking.
Give you guys donut too, man. Your time, you know.
Fuck it. I don't know if he is or not. Maybe it was legitimate, but the fact is, it doesn't come off that way. It doesn't come. No. It doesn't feel that way, and people can feel that in their guts what's legitimate and not. And if you can't, and that's why face-to-face conversations and stuff are so important. That's why you go to that fucking place like the Rum Runner. So you're around people, and you're like, okay, I can actually interact. So you don't forget that these people can. It's much easier to fool people when you're on a camera than when you're in front of them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
In a lot of ways.
Because you can do it's smoke and mirrors, man. They're illusions. They're tricks that you.
Yeah.
You know.
But even if you're on a show like that, you can still tell, and that's why I kind of don't really focus. I don't really. It's like, all right, he's got some good ideas, but most of his shit's all about how people are talking shit about him. I don't give a fuck about I want you to express your ideas, dude. I don't give a fuck about, well, Thursday, I got an email from someone saying I fucked their daughter. Now you know. And I'm like, oh, well, so what? Yeah, okay, I don't give a fuck.
Well, True Freeman's is bad sometimes. Actually, True Freeman, I think, is a little bit crazy. I think he's got some wires loose, man, but that's what makes him interesting. Is because I like, you know me, I like watching
and you're part of the problem because all the fucked up people are the ones the people that don't really have anything to say but are just fucking batshit are the ones you're watching, while the people that actually do are just they're boring. They're not fucking lighting their trash can on fire in the living room while they're fucking pissing and then piss on it. Why aren't they doing that? Why aren't they fucking shitting on a fucking road and then fucking smearing it on their faces and rolling around on camera? God.
Well. Either way, both guys are entertaining, man, in their own way. You know what I'm saying?
Not in my. Though they're kind of some of them. I like I said, I'm more into a serious mode on YouTube. Now there's some funny stuff I like but it's more like satire of all the shit I watch. Like some of the shit about about that interview, dude. There's some breakdowns of that interview that are fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean people? Oh, see, I don't really like critiques of shit. You know, those YouTube critiquers.
Oh, I love it when they like stop, like they'll start the conversation of someone saying something, and they'll stop and go, well, no, wait a fucking minute, what are you trying to say?
Oh, no, some of that's cool. Like there's a guy named Warcorp 666 that James actually turned me on to, he does shit like that. That's cool. I like that, but I don't really like somebody who gets on and goes, yeah, man, want to talk about the interview where Violent J came on fucking Dr. Phil and he said this, and you know everybody's got their own little bullshit opinion, and I'm kind of like, man,
yeah,
I'm not.
It depends on who the opinion is, because some of them are really well. Like Sargon does a great job of breaking down those interviews. Because there's another thing we didn't talk about the Grid Girls, did we?
I don't think so. No.
All right, so here's another brilliant fucking SJW identity thing going on, man. All right. This is great. You're gonna love this. So there was a group of women. They were called the Grid Girls. In Formula One racing, they're the women who walk out with the signs and the advertisements and walk out with the drivers. They look hot. They're models. They're fucking great looking. You know, they're advertising. They're getting the crowd up. You know, they're smiling, and because dudes like to look at beautiful women. You know, it's just
sounds like an '80s female rap group.
Yeah, well, yeah. The Grid. So and then the Grid Girls are. There's also a thing in darts. There's a big thing. Darts is a big thing in other countries on TV, right? And they had these dart competitions.
So it's an actual sport.
Yeah,
huh?
Sports, darts.
Oh, okay.
And these dudes, these fucking dart playing, beer swigging, fucking dart dudes. They're not fucking that attractive. So what happens? The dart people hire a lot of beautiful fucking women to walk out with the dart women, the dart dudes, when they're advertising, the Coors Light shirts and stuff like that, and they're walking around waving, going hi baby, and that they're making.
Oh, that's what sells.
And they're making the fucking money. They're doing that as what they love their jobs. It's not that hard, or maybe it's harder than it is. Who knows? They might do a lot of other things like publicity, but
I think I can see where this is going.
They love their jobs. They're empowered women. They love their fucking jobs. They have jobs, so they're employed, so they're contributing to society, and they actually are actually doing something they enjoy. Well, guess what? Guess what, man?
They're being exploited, right?
They're being exploited, and so they're banned now. So guess who just lost all their jobs?
So now these women lost their jobs.
They lost their job because these feminist women are saying that it's not this. It's 2018 and it's our society, and so they pressured the Formula One. They pressured the dart people, and so now these empowered fucking women who are fucking.
So empowered, they lost their jobs. They can't pay their mortgage.
Yeah, so these women now, of course, the Grid Girls and the dart women love their jobs. They're like, what are you doing? Like, because they're employed, they keep themselves fit, they keep themselves good looking, they monitor their looks because that's what men like, women, good looking men. So they actually have to work out every day, keep themselves thin, have on a moderate diet. They have to do all these things for their job to keep themselves in this. They're working. They're fulfilling a job. They're making probably more money. I guarantee they're making more than I made. Guaranteed they're making. I'm making more than you make, most likely. They're on TV. Hot
it's
women.
Like being a stripper. If that's what you want to do, that's your business.
Or a whore. If you're a prostitute, you can go for it. Do what you want to do.
If this is what you want to do,
no. So
nobody pressures you into it.
So these feminist women are saying, and they're saying, what about the women who've lost their jobs? Well, they'll have to find something else to do.
Oh, yes, very. So in the process of trying to protect these women, you fuck them.
You fuck them because that's what it does. Because it's not about what the women what it is. It's about men got enjoyment from watching those women.
So therefore it's sexist, right?
It's sexist because men enjoyed watching them women, and because it was for men. Even though the women were empowered, had jobs, were contributing members of society, paid their taxes, bought stuff with the money they earned, so helped the economy. No. You did it the way it's not. We don't approve of how you're making money. So regardless of whether you're empowered, whether you're making money. No, so they no longer have jobs. So they have been removed.
Sounds kind of like the sexist man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We don't want women to work, so we're going to keep them out of the workplace.
But that just shows you the truth. It shows you how identity politics is fucked because they don't care about women. They care about their ideology. They care about not having about men. Well, and then of course it also is a lot of these women are butt fucking ugly and they're resentful because these women are making money off their looks. Oh my God, they're making so. Men make the money off their looks too all the time. They do it in their own models. And guess what? And male models make a shit ton less than female models. So there's your discrimination there. It's all fucked. Yeah. So now these people don't have jobs, and these feminists are all happy, and they're like, well, deal with it. They'll have to deal. They'll have to. But these women are making a choice, and they say, well, they'll have to make different choices then.
Oh, gee, these are. Oh God,
they actually said this.
I'm sitting here gritting my teeth,
they actually
banging this pin against my hand.
But this is what's going on in the world. It's really affecting people. It's really affecting women. But they don't care. Like I said, they're like, well, then they'll just have to figure out something else to do. But these women are making choices. It's there. So you're taking away free choices from women. Well, that's not a choice. It's denigration and it's overall negative toward women. Well,
I'm gonna get offended for you. It's a fucking.
And these women are like, you just cost me my job, and you think you're empowering me? How are you empowering me? Well, you don't realize it because you're just an internalized misogyny when you're walking down the road waving at these men looking at you going, wow, you're attractive and getting a hard on. That's wrong. How could dare you enjoy men enjoy
As
women?
People say, man, that shit is a mental illness, dude.
It is.
Feminism is a mental illness.
Ideology is when you're that entrenched, when you don't realize how fucking hypocritical you are and individual. That's what I'm saying. These individual women were making individual choices to put their bodies out there and to be exposed and to be sex symbols, and they loved it. Most women love it who are attractive. That's why attractive women. How many fucking attractive women have not done a photo shoot in a model? That are on.
I'm an ugly bitch. I think I'm going to try to model.
Well, no, not even that. But how many attractive women in like movies just go, no, I'm not going to go sit in that chair and look pretty. No, they all do because instinctively women enjoy looking good. Just like men enjoy being competent.
Right, exactly.
Men enjoy, not saying women don't enjoy, but overall there's differences. So, but it's just amazing how these women just totally fucked them. It makes you mad, doesn't it? Like, these women just lost their jobs.
Dude, like I said, I'm sitting here going, what the fuck, are you fucking serious?
Literally, one of the women said, well, they're just going to have to deal with it.
They're just going to have to deal with it.
Well, they'll just have to change their ways because my beliefs of what they should be doing, because I believe in free choice of women. Except when the choices aren't what I agree with, then they can't do them.
Exactly. I'm going to make your decisions for you
because you're being internally misogynizing. You hate yourself, so I'm going to force you to do something different.
Why don't these people just fuck off and stay out of people's business, dude? To stop affecting other people.
That's the world we live in.
It's one thing if you want to talk about it, but another thing when you actually go do something. They must have lobbied or done some crazy shit to ban.
Oh, they did. They did. Of course they did. And these companies are so out of touch with the reality because that's the culture now. The mainstream culture is this horse shit. That's why counterculture. When you say something like men and women are different, fundamentally different, that's actually considered an insult now. It's considered. It's not normal. It's not the cultural norm. When it, of course, is obvious to anybody who has a fucking brain. Men and women are different.
Yeah, that's why men like women and women like
individuals are different too. But still, men and women fundamentally are different. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how fucked up we are, man. So.
Wow.
So we got the Black Panther thing. Then we got that thing where they lost their jobs. So it's insane, man.
They're out of their fucking minds, these people.
Yep. Anything else that you got, man?
Well, the one other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, as we were talking about off the air, there's someone new. Well, not new, but somebody that I used to date way back in the day, and that now recently we've started talking again. And I really don't know how I feel as far as I'm not crazy psycho head over heels for this person like I was back in the late 90s, but at the same time, maybe this is the way to be, man. This is, instead of being so stupid and in love because you lose fucking touch with yourself and you do dumb shit.
Yeah.
So maybe this is that balanced ground, dude, when people always say, well, it's always better for the person to be more into you than you are them. And you're like, I wonder if that's, maybe
it's basically just for both of you to mutually be into each other. But like this whole more than, you have no idea how into you they are. They are really. Someone can say, oh, well, she's way more into me than I am to her. Yeah, but last week she was fucking way more into Johnny Joe. And now she doesn't care about Johnny Joe. So maybe next week you'll just be Johnny Joe while you are into her and will be into her for fucking 10 years. And
right. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I don't feel like I'm powerful. Like, oh, wow, I'm in love with her. No, oh, God.
No.
Totally irrational and shit. And I think maybe that's the even keel, man. That's where you need to be, maybe.
You got to always have one leg in and one leg out. It's the balance. It's walking the edge. And that's, especially with relationships and emotion, is you always have to be aware of your own emotions. You always have to be aware of yourself and how you really feel. And that's age, too, brings a lot of that out. Because you have to know, like, hey, man, you have to know yourself and go, hey, I'm the kind of guy who's going to get fucking stupid. So I need to kind of look at my fucking look at what I'm doing and keep my focus and make sure that I am like got my head out of my ass and I'm going, oh, okay, I'm being a dumbass. I'm getting too like, why did she call me? Whoa, hey, whoa,
that's
whoa,
stupid shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's older too because you don't do that as much because you realize it's like when you're a hypochondriac, man, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The first time you get that little pain in your chest that's actually gas or heartburn. And you're going, oh my God.
Oh my God. I'm having a heart attack.
The 100th time you get that pain in your chest and you go, that's heartburn.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. You've dealt with it. You're like, it's going to pass in 5 minutes. I'm not really.
But the hard thing, because I'm still, dude, even at my age now, there's been people that I've been into that I'm like, they didn't call me. Fuck them, or something. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And you flip out.
And you go and you look at yourself and you go, dude, you have no idea what her intentions are. You have no idea what her ideas are. You are putting yours onto her. And of course, as human beings, we tend to put the negative ones on there because it's much better and much easier to be relieved than it is to be let down, right?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
So when you're going, oh, man, she's awesome. I can't wait to call her. She's going to call me tonight. And then she doesn't call you. You're like,
call.
But if you're like, oh, man, she's not going to call me, dude. And then she doesn't call. She's like, yeah, she didn't call. Well, hey, you know. But if she does call, you're like, hey, she fucking called. Yeah.
Well, lately it's been her kind of doing more of the texting. As a matter of fact, the other night, I was headed to my podcast, Upums, and she was like, hey, I'm waiting for a cab. I'm kind of bored right now. Are you available? I'm like, no, actually, I'm headed to my podcast group. So, you know, it was just one of those things.
Just
where
let it be, man. Just, and, you know, and if it happens, you know, just be aware and don't push your. That's another thing is that you tend to do is like, well, she likes me, so why don't I dig her more? You know, I gotta dig her more because she's digging me more. And yeah,
that's what I'm eating at. That's just where I'm going.
Oh man, why don't I? You know, well. You know, and she might dig you more, but she might just dig you more now. So basically, you got to let it ride, man. You can't. The trick is not trying to read her mind. It's just going with it, you know.
Right, exactly. Don't force it. Don't be like, oh man, dude, she seems more into me than I am, and I'm hoping that I'm not gonna be, you know, I don't want to hurt her, and you know, that kind of dumb shit, man.
Yeah, and then you just go, let's let it go, and whatever happens, you know, just be honest with her. That's the thing. That's another Jordan Peterson thing is tell the truth. There's no reason you have to lie. There's no reason you have to hide her feelings. Well, I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Well, no, you're hurting her feelings now because because she thought something more, and when you can be like, if it ever comes up, just be like, hey, I don't know how I feel about it. You know?
Right. If she were to ask me, I'd just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm not really going to push it. I'm not going to try to make a decision or try to find it out because I don't know. So when I do know, guess what? I'll know because I'll know.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's it. And everybody asked me about it. You know, well, what do you think? What do you think's going to? I'm like, I don't know. You know, yeah. I really don't know how I feel. You know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's good because that's honest, and that's honest with yourself. So, you know.
Yeah. No, it's not that whole, you know, jump in both feet. Oh my God, here it is. That engine's running. Dooba dooba dooba. I'm gonna fucking, you know, all this other crazy shit.
Yeah.
So
that's good,
you know.
man, and but just don't feel like you're doing anything wrong because there's no wrong, man. Just let it roll.
Right. Well, that's what I've been doing. I've been, you know, it's been good.
That's my opinion. You know, I mean, that's the thing about life. You just got, and you can't. Another. I know I keep going back to Mr. Peterson, but I'm going to keep saying it's kind of a focus on this because this guy, honestly, is I have a lot of. Now, of course, there's, you know, I'm not like, oh my God, he's the most amazing thing ever, but the dude just keeps striking a thing, and what he says is, the only person you can compare yourself with, the only person that you ever knew well enough to compare yourself with is who?
Would be yourself.
Is yourself. So you can't compare yourself. I can't compare myself to you because I've lived such a different life than you, have different ideas, experiences in different situations, everything, different luck, different everything else at all, different choices that I made, good and bad. You can't do the same thing to me. So the only thing you compare, first person you can compare yourself to is you from yesterday, because that's the only person you know. So,
like how I used to be 2 years ago versus today.
Like how I used to be 10 years ago with her. Like, why do I feel this way? You're comparing yourself and you're going, do I want to feel that way again? Or not.
Right.
Or even the way you were 10 years ago. Well, oh man, I used to be so much more this 10 years ago. And then you go, well, get yourself back to that if you liked it. If you like being more like, hey, like fuck it all, and I'm going to do this, you know, that you were 10 years ago, then you know, because then focus yourself and go, I've been that before, so I'm going to get there again. But you can only compare yourself to yourself, and you can only push in the future. Say, how would I like to be in the future? And you push toward that, not how. Well, I want to be just like fucking Steve Jobs. Well, you're not going to be like Steve Jobs. You're going to be like yourself in the future from where you are now, and you have to have reasonable goals to get there.
Well, and things have changed since 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my mindset's a lot different. I've had a lot more experiences and things, so they're not. I don't feel the same way as I did then. You know what I'm saying?
And at this point, so at this point, you know, you're like, hey, I'm analyzing myself. I'm acknowledging how I feel, and right now, it's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with how you feel. In other words, that's just be honest with it. Just didn't try to don't be like, oh well, I should feel more. I should feel more, or I should feel less too. All the stuff I've been through. Why do I feel giddy still? Oh,
right.
And just go with it, man.
Well, that's it. It's. I guess what I'm saying is it's good to be self-aware and you know, a little more in control of yourself than completely emotionally driven. You know, just doing dumb shit and saying dumb shit and you know. So, you know. And
on that note, that positive note right there.
That's right. Little positive note for the day from the Nothing Sacred team.
I think that's a good place as any, right? Don't you?
Yep. I think so, man.
That's great, man. So go enjoy yourself on your Saturday. I got to work tomorrow, but you know, hey, that's work. You just got to deal with your shit, man. And like you said, look at yourself. And if I don't like what I'm doing, that's what I have to do.
Change it.
Figure it out. It's all my responsibility, and it's not about being a victim or having rights. It's about responsibility. Anyways, it is the 17th of February 2018. I am Cruise Control.
And I am Maxwell Silverhammer. And
that's the story there, bitches. Oh, yeah. Central power, man. Purple pill, baby. Hey. Purple pill. Blue plus red, gun. Man, is purple, man.
I gotta have my gun, man.
Right in the center,
people
man.
Are after me. People are after me.
Fucking hell yeah, dude.
Haters.